That's why God has, that's why he said, I equip you in church to serve. A goat is somebody, a sheep needs to be led. A goat wants to do its own independent thing. It's got terrible milk, rough skin, and it's very rebellious. The Bible calls it that, sheep and goats. He said, in the last days, I will separate the sheep from the goats. The goats go to hell. Sheep don't. I mean, seriously. Look it up, Matthew 24. I'm not making this up. He showed them a lesson in humility and service. Here it is. The one that was going to wash away the sins of mankind. Washing feet, something only a slave or a less deserving person was supposed to do in their culture. See, our culture is terrible. We think American way is the way it is all around the world. And we're so westernized that we see with Western eyes. And the Bible was written in Eastern thought. So we come from a place, you're saying, Pastor, where the democratic society, where we get, if enough of us vote for this guy, regardless if he's, got a good heart or not, he can be leader over all of us, yes. It's called a democracy. We get to choose the leader over us. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, the person we put over us can be really jacked up. See, we can vote for him based off of his religion, or we can vote for him based off his color, or we can vote for him based on how much mouthpiece he got to make me think he's gonna do something good for me. It never works. However, in the kingdom of God, he chooses us. He said you are chosen in John 15. See, we can't knock Jesus off his throne. You can believe he's not king, and it ain't going to change the fact that he's king. You're just going to have a rude awakening one day when you stand before him and say, why is everybody standing here in front of Jesus? Because he's the king. Are you serious? So they wouldn't really say, yes, he's the king. But you should celebrate the fact that he chose you and that you're here today because somebody encouraged you to come. And since you're chosen, I know, since you're chosen, watch this though. To be chosen in the Hebrew, I said it before, means that you are selected for various trials, tribulations, to prove to be worthy. The next time you're going through something, understand, it's only because you're chosen. You may go through it, but you don't get through it. Come on. Amen? Come on, somebody. He showed them a lesson in humility and service. Some of us confess our humility, which is not humility at all. Or we say, I'm more humble than you. Well, that right there just is a double no. We can't be arguing about who's more humble. Some of us want to be in the more glorious position. Pastor, what am I going to preach? I'm ready. No, you're not. Just the fact you had to tell me you're ready means you're not ready. Nobody wants to wash feet, though. Well, who's going to see me wash the feet, Pastor? Nobody. I don't do that. I went to Bible college, man. I'm ready to shoot my gift. In due time. The Bible says if you're faithful in the little, then God will trust you with much. And I get an amen. And then there's some that just don't want to do anything. I'm cool. They're just lucky I'm showing up for church. Really, you're just lucky you're showing up for church. Because this is God's way of really trying to make sure He changes the course of your life. See, some of us in this world, we know a lot about God, but we don't know Him personally. If He was to show up in the room, we wouldn't recognize Him. And we'd probably dispute whether or not He was really God. Yeah, anybody can pray and break bread and feed everybody. I mean, you got rent, you do that. You ain't Jesus. Hello. We're so, what's the word? We're so negative. So negative, there's no room for anything positive. And you can tell a negative person because no matter what they talk about in a happy manner, it has to do with something negative. And then they don't want nobody to say anything about their negativity. Are you like that? Can we go into a positive place called the secret place of prayer and come out negative? We all have. But we have to evaluate, am I really in the presence of God?
Come on.
Was I at prayer or in prayer?
Come on.
Because one thing I'm starting to learn is that God says, right? You see the attitude of people when they come out of prayer. So they weren't really moved by my presence. They were moved by the music. See, some of us love the worship CDs because music is good. We use music for everything. We used to dance to it. Yeah, I know I'm not the greatest groover in the world, but I get down. You know, in my old days, because when I was the greatest dancer, she used to walk around the house and say, "Oh, watch you, wow, he's the greatest dancer." No, but we use music for different things. So music has a great impact on us. And I believe that nowadays, people are, that although we have the worship music going, a lot of us, we're moved by the music, not by the presence of God. And that's why we come out unchanged. That's why we come out feeling good for a minute, but then it's easy to fall back into the flesh. See, being a servant leader, we're going to understand that we have to make choices not to fall back into that. We've got to make sure that we're trying our best for me to try to touch the true presence of God. Because all of us in here should desire to be leaders. That's why God has you here. The church is here in Ephesians 4 to equip us. To equip us to lead, it says. And so if you're going to lead, now listen to this. Here's why a lot of people, even now I got leaders that some of them were like, man, they struggle. They struggle with people following them. The badge don't work no more. The name tag, hey, I'm your local leader, follow me. Don't work no more. And I had a prayer, I'm like, God, what's going on? And so now I understand why. See, sometimes you got to ask God why. I don't understand it. If I'm supposed to go forward, then I need you to, explain to me why this is happening. So one of the things I wrote last night, I said, if you aim to be a leader, that's your sole goal, it's just to be a leader. I just want to lead. And you can usually tell, because if I'm going to, I don't have a lot of leaders yet. I'm about to just start raising up. We're just going on. I'm going to double the leadership in the next 3 months. I'm telling you that now. I'm doubling the leadership. That's just the bottom line. We need to do more. But what I find out is that if you don't like to be removed from where you're at, it tells me that you're the person that's not looking to work yourself out of the position to grow the church. You're more worried about how you're going to look. Like, hey, what are they going to think about me? I'm going to lose my influence with people. Well, when you take your badge off and nobody respects you in the leadership matter, they may respect you as a Christian, but as a leader, then that means you didn't have influence in the first place. So if you aim to be a leader, you're going to end up frustrated. Because there's nothing wrong with you other than that thought. But we live in a society where very few people want to be led. We live in rebellious times. Even sitting here with a great crowd of people, very few of us want to be led. Come on, pastor or not, very few want to be led. And so the best thing to do is to get a following is do what Jesus did here. Instead of aiming to be a leader and being frustrated because few people want to be led, aim to be a servant in the house of God. And I promise you, you're going to be without a following. Because in the vision, we talk a lot about putting our hands to the plow, about serving people, about treating people right, about checking on people. All these things, that's why I try to get y'all to get each other's numbers, because I have people's numbers, and I do check, and I will go pick you up in the van, and I will make a double run. But everybody ain't wanting to do that. We want the comforts of, I did it once, and that's it. If you ain't there then goodbye. See, we're not trying to invest in people, so we are trying to lead by the badge. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Jesus showed he cared. Even though they knew, he knew a lot because they called him teacher. Leaders are not exempt from serving. What you may call serving may not be the serving we need. We look at what other churches are doing sometimes, and we say, well, I need to do this and I need to do that. We don't have the capacity for that yet. They've been around 10, 12 years, 15, 20 years. We're just barely turned 2 years old. We need to keep building you up more. Because if we start doing that, you don't have the character, nor the knowledge, nor the exposure to make it happen. It will fall apart. And I don't like to begin something and not finish it. How about you? He said, you call me teacher and Lord, and rightfully so. For that is what I am. Now that I your Lord and teacher have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set an example that you should do for one another. Jesus said we call him Lord and teacher, and that he is an example that we should be following.